Adriana's hands trembled as she clutched the worn leather diary, its pages fluttering like accusations in the wind from the open window. She hadn't meant to snoop. It was just there on Elena's nightstand, begging to be noticed while Elena was in the shower. But now, reading those intimate confessions, words that mirrored her own buried feelings, Adriana felt a surge of terror mixed with an inexplicable relief. How long had Elena felt this way? And why did it have to be her, Adriana's closest friend since college, the one person who knew all her secrets? The water stopped running, and Elena emerged, towel-draped and oblivious, her dark hair cascading in wet curls. She froze when she saw Adriana holding the diary. "Adri, what are you doing?" Her voice was a fragile thread, ready to snap. Adriana's mind raced through 1,000 denials, but the truth clawed its way out. "I read it. All of it. About us, about me." Elena's face paled, and she stepped back as if slapped. The room seemed to shrink around them, the bustling sounds of New York City outside fading into a distant hum. Inside, Adriana's thoughts swirled in chaos. "I've always known, haven't I?" Those lingering glances during late-night study sessions at NYU. The way my heart skipped when Elena laughed at my jokes. The jealousy that burned when she dated guys who never deserved her. But admitting it meant dismantling everything, her family's expectations, her role as the perfect daughter in their tight-knit Italian-American household in Brooklyn. Her parents, devout Catholics, had raised her with stories of traditional love, marriages blessed in church, grandchildren to carry on the legacy. What would they say if they knew their only daughter dreamed of a woman? Elena sank onto the bed, her eyes pleading. "It wasn't supposed to happen like this. I was going to tell you, but I was scared. You're my best friend, Adri. I didn't want to ruin that." Adriana paced the small room, her footsteps echoing her inner turmoil. Ruin it? It's already ruined. Or is it just beginning? She thought of the countless times they'd shared secrets under the covers during sleepovers. The way Elena's touch felt electric, even in innocence. But society didn't see innocence in this. It saw deviation, sin, something to be hidden or fixed. "I feel the same," Adriana blurted out, the words escaping before she could cage them. Elena's breath hitched, a spark of hope igniting in her eyes. They stared at each other, the air charged with possibility and peril. Adriana's mind screamed warnings. Think of Mom and Dad. Think of Nana's disappointed gaze, the whispers at family gatherings. But her heart, traitorous and alive, pulled her forward. She leaned in, their lips meeting in a tentative kiss that tasted of fear and freedom. It was soft, exploratory, a bridge between friendship and something deeper. When they pulled apart, Elena whispered, "What now?" What now indeed? Adriana's phone buzzed, shattering the moment. It was her mother, Elena, calling to remind her about Sunday dinner. "Don't be late, Kara. We're having ziti." Adriana's stomach twisted. How could she face them, knowing this secret pulsed inside her like a live wire? She hung up, turning to Elena. "We can't tell anyone." "Not yet." Elena nodded, but her eyes held doubt. They spent the afternoon in hushed conversations, mapping out their feelings like uncharted territory. Adriana confessed her crushes on girls in high school, buried under layers of denial. Elena shared her own struggles, the dates with men that felt hollow, the therapy sessions where she questioned her identity. As evening fell, they ventured out for coffee, hands brushing accidentally, or not, under the table at a cozy cafe in Greenwich Village. The neighborhood buzzed with life, couples of all kinds walking freely. A stark contrast to Adriana's internalized prison. Why can't I have that? She wondered. But the answer loomed. Because my world isn't ready. Back at the apartment, they talked until dawn, forging a pact to explore this slowly, away from prying eyes. Yet, deep down, Adriana knew secrets like this had a way of unraveling. The next day brought the first crack. At work, Adriana, a junior editor at a publishing house in Midtown, couldn't focus. Her boss noticed, pulling her aside. "Everything okay? You seem distracted." Adriana forced a smile, but inside she replayed the kiss, the confessions. Elena texted, "Miss you already. Can't wait for tonight." Adriana's reply was swift, but her mind wandered to the potential fallout. What if someone saw them? New York was progressive, but her circle wasn't. Her brother Marco with his macho jokes, Her friends from church youth group, quick to judge. That evening, they met at Elena's place again. The tension was palpable, their conversations laced with urgency. I want this, Adriana said. But I'm terrified. Elena pulled her close, not in passion but in comfort. Me too. But we'll figure it out together. They cooked pasta, laughing over spilled sauce, but Adriana's thoughts darkened. Is this worth the risk? The betrayal of my family's trust? She pushed it down, focusing on the warmth of Elena's presence. Weeks blurred into a clandestine routine. Stolen moments in parks, whispers in movie theaters, always vigilant. Adriana's inner voice grew louder. You're living a lie. But the lie felt like truth, the only authenticity in her scripted life. Elena, bolder by nature, pressed for more. When can we go public? I hate hiding. Adriana hesitated. Soon. I promise. But promises felt fragile. Then came the family dinner that changed everything. Adriana arrived at her parents' brownstone, Elena's scent lingering on her skin from a hurried goodbye. Elena greeted her with a hug, but her eyes narrowed. You look different. Happier? Or is it worry? Adriana brushed it off, but during dinner Marco teased. Still single, sis? Mom's got a nice guy from church for you. The word stung like barbs. Inside, Adriana screamed, I don't want a guy. I want Elena. As dessert was served, Elena pulled out an old photo album. Remember when you and Elena were kids? Such good friends. Adriana's heart stopped. The photos showed them arm in arm, innocent then but loaded now. Yeah, she murmured. But Elena's gaze lingered too long. Does she suspect? Adriana wondered, panic rising. That night, back home, she confided in Elena. I can't keep this up. It's tearing me apart. Elena held her. Then let's tell them. Together. But Adriana shook her head. Not yet. I need time. Time, however, was running out. The next morning, a text from Marco. Hey, saw Elena's social media. She's posting a lot about Pride events. Everything cool? Adriana's blood ran cold. The net was tightening. Adriana stared at her phone, Marco's message glowing like a warning sign. Pride events? Elena had been careful, or so Adriana thought. She dialed Elena immediately. What did you post? Elena's voice was defensive. Just a story about a rally. Nothing specific about us. But in Adriana's mind, it was a breadcrumb trail leading straight to their secret. You know my family follows you. This could blow everything up. Elena sighed. I'm tired of hiding, Adri. It's Pride Month. I want to celebrate who I am. Who I am. The words echoed in Adriana's head. A stark reminder of her own denial. She paced her small apartment in Chelsea, the city skyline mocking her with its freedom. Why can't I be like those people out there, holding hands without fear? But fear was her constant companion, rooted in childhood memories of her father's rants about those people ruining society, her mother's prayers for traditional values. Coming out meant not just losing their approval. It meant shattering the family unit she'd always cherished. At work, distraction turned to mistakes. She mixed up manuscripts, earning a stern warning from her editor. Get it together, Adriana. But how? Her thoughts were a whirlwind. Elena's patience wearing thin, the pressure building like a storm. That evening they met in Central Park, away from familiar eyes. Elena's expression was resolute. I love you, but this sneaking around, it's killing me. Adriana's chest tightened. Love. The word hung heavy, unspoken until now. I love you too, she whispered but added. But my family. Elena's eyes flashed with frustration. Your family or us. You can't have both forever. The ultimatum, though gentle, cut deep. Adriana's inner monologue raged. She's right. But choosing her means betraying them. Is love worth that pain? They parted with a tense hug, Adriana heading home to brood. That night, dreams plagued her, visions of rejection, of Elena walking away. The next day brought escalation. Elena called, her voice laced with concern. Adriana, we need to talk. Come over tonight. Adriana's stomach dropped. Does she know? She arrived to find her parents and Marco waiting, the living room heavy with unspoken tension. Elena held up her phone. Elena's posts. And you two have been spending a lot of time together. Is there something we should know? Adriana's mind blanked. Lie or truth? The choice loomed like a cliff. We're just friends, she stammered, but her voice wavered. Marco snorted. Come on, sis. I'm not blind. Those pride things, she's gay, right? The word gay hit like a slap, derogatory in his tone. Adriana's anger flared. Lesbian. And so what if she is? Elena's eyes widened. Adriana, watch your tone. We raised you better. Better than what? Adriana thought bitterly. Better than being true to myself? The conversation devolved into accusations. Her father, silent until now, boomed. If you're involved in that lifestyle, it's a sin. We won't have it. Tears stung Adriana's eyes. It's not a lifestyle. It's who I am. The confession slipped out, raw and unintended. Silence fell like a guillotine. Elena gasped. Marco stared in shock. Her father reddened with fury. Get out, he said quietly. Until you come to your senses. Adriana fled, tears blurring the streets. She called Elena, sobbing. I told them. They kicked me out. Elena rushed over, holding her through the night. I'm proud of you, she whispered. But Adriana's thoughts were tormented. Proud? I've lost everything. Was it worth it? The fallout rippled outward. Friends from her old circle distanced themselves, whispers of shame circulating. At work, a colleague overheard and offered support, but it felt hollow. Elena became her anchor, their relationship deepening amid the chaos. They moved in together, a small act of defiance. But doubts crept in. Adriana missed her family, the Sunday dinners, the laughter. Is this freedom or isolation? Society's judgment amplified the pain. Walking hand in hand, they faced stares, muttered slurs. One evening at a restaurant, a man sneered, disgusting. Elena confronted him, but Adriana pulled her away, humiliated. Inside she questioned, why fight when it hurts so much? Elena's resolve strengthened hers, but cracks formed. Sometimes I wonder if we're strong enough, Adriana admitted one night. Elena's response was fierce. We have to be. For us. But Adriana's inner conflict persisted. Am I betraying my roots for love? Or betraying myself by hiding? The tension built, leading to their first fight. You're still ashamed, Elena accused. No, Adriana shot back. I'm realistic. The world isn't as accepting as you think. Reconciliation came slowly, with apologies and promises. But the damage lingered. Then, a betrayal from an unexpected source. Marco showed up at their door, apologetic at first. I miss you, sis. They talked, Adriana hopeful for reconciliation. But later, she discovered he'd recorded their conversation, sharing snippets with family to prove she was confused. The hurt was visceral. How could my own brother do this? Adriana confronted him, the argument explosive. You betrayed me. Marco defended. I'm trying to save you. Save me from what? Happiness? The rift deepened, Adriana cutting ties. Elena supported her, but the toll was evident. This is the price, Elena said softly. Adriana nodded, but inside she tallied the costs. Family, friends, peace of mind. As months passed, they navigated therapy support groups. Adriana's growth was painful, shedding layers of internalized homophobia. But society's pressures mounted. A job promotion stalled due to concerns about her personal life, subtle discrimination chipping away. Elena faced similar at her teaching job, parents complaining about her influence. One night, exhausted, Adriana whispered, was coming out a mistake? Elena's silence spoke volumes. The question hung unanswered, as they clung to each other in the darkness. The silence stretched, a chasm between them. Elena finally spoke, her voice steady but edged with pain. No, it wasn't a mistake. But it's harder than I imagined. Adriana lay awake long after, her mind dissecting every decision. Harder for whom? For me losing my family? Or for her carrying my baggage? The next morning they avoided the topic, but the seed of doubt had taken root. Work became a battleground. Adriana's boss called her in. We've heard rumors. Is there anything affecting your performance? The implication was clear. Her orientation was a liability. Adriana's anger simmered. My personal life is private. But inside she raged, private? Nothing feels private anymore. She threw herself into projects, proving her worth, but exhaustion set in. Elena, meanwhile, faced her own demons. At school, a parent confronted her. "I don't want my kid taught by someone like you." The words echoed Adriana's fears. Elena came home shaken. "Maybe we should move. Start fresh." Adriana considered it. A new city, anonymity. But running felt like defeat. "No," she said. "We fight here." Their resolve led to activism. They joined a local LGBTQ group, marching in parades, voices raised against injustice. Adriana's first speech was terrifying, her hands shaking as she shared her story. "I lost my family for love. But I gained myself." Applause followed, but so did hate mail. One letter, anonymous, read, "You'll burn for this." Adriana crumpled it, but the fear lingered. Family ties frayed further. Elena reached out sporadically, tearful calls pleading for Adriana to come back to God. Each conversation ended in stalemate. "I love you, Mom, but I can't change who I am." Elena's response, "Then you're choosing sin over us." The words haunted Adriana. Am I choosing? Or were they forcing the choice? Marco's betrayal festered. Adriana discovered he'd spread rumors to mutual friends, painting her as rebellious. One friend, Sarah, called. "Is it true? You're with Elena?" Adriana confirmed, bracing for judgment. Sarah paused. "I'm happy for you. A rare win, but scarce." Most drifted away, leaving voids. Elena's family, more accepting, offered solace. Her parents invited them for dinner in New Jersey. The warmth contrasted sharply with Adriana's loss. Elena's mom hugged her. "You're family now." Tears flowed. Adriana yearned for that unconditional love. But envy stirred. Why couldn't mine be like this? Tensions peaked during a holiday. Thanksgiving approached, Adriana dreading the empty table. Elena suggested hosting friends, creating new traditions. They did, laughter filling the apartment, but Adriana's thoughts wandered to Brooklyn. The smells of turkey and arguments. A call from Nana came unexpectedly. "Kara, I miss you. Come see me alone." Hope flickered. Adriana went, heart-pounding. Nana, frail in her armchair, held her hand. "Your parents are stubborn. But I see your pain." Adriana confessed everything, tears streaming. Nana listened, then sighed. "Love is love. But family is blood." Ambiguous words leaving Adriana torn. Acceptance or caution? Back home she shared with Elena. "Maybe there's hope." But Elena's eyes darkened. "Don't get hurt again." The warning proved prescient. Days later, Elena called, furious. "You visited Nana?" Stirring trouble. Adriana realized Nana had told them. Betrayal again. "Why can't you let me be?" she cried. Elena hung up. The emotional toll manifested physically. Adriana lost weight. Sleep evaded her. Therapy helped unpack the guilt. "Why do I feel responsible for their hate?" Elena suggested couples counseling. "To strengthen us." Sessions revealed cracks. Adriana's resentment toward Elena for pushing openness, Elena's frustration with Adriana's lingering ties. One session exploded. "You act like it's easy," Adriana shouted. "My world imploded because of us." Elena retorted, "Us? Or because you were too scared to face it alone?" Hurtful words, but cathartic. They emerged stronger, recommitting. Society's maw widened. A bill in Congress threatened rights. Protests erupted. Adriana and Elena joined, chanting for equality. Amid the crowd, Adriana felt empowered, but a counter-protester spat at them. "Freaks." Elena wiped it off, defiant. But Adriana's resolve wavered. "Is this the life I want? Constant battle?" A turning point came via an old friend, Lisa, who came out as bi. "Your courage inspired me." Adriana realized her pain rippled positively. But costs mounted. Elena's job hung by a thread after more complaints. "We might have to sue," she said. Legal battles loomed, draining resources. Adriana's inner struggle intensified. Sacrifice career for love? Or compromise? She confided in a support group. Stories of loss and triumph mirrored hers. One woman shared, "I lost my kids but gained peace." Adriana shuddered. Could that happen? As winter set in, a crisis hit. Elena's father fell ill, pulling her away. Alone, Adriana faced demons. A drunken call to Marco. "Why hate me?" His slurred response. "I don't hate you. I hate what you're doing. Progress? Or delusion? Elena returned, strained. Dad's okay, but it made me think we need to live fully. They planned a commitment ceremony, small and symbolic. Invitations went out, excluding Adriana's family. But Elena showed up uninvited, tears in eyes. I can't watch this. She left, but her presence cracked the armor. The ceremony was beautiful, vows exchanged amid friends. Adriana felt joy but shadowed by absence. That night, holding Elena, she whispered, "Was it worth it?" Elena's answer, "Every scar." The scars accumulated, invisible but aching. Post-ceremony, euphoria faded into reality. Adriana's promotion was denied outright. Company image, her boss cited vaguely. Discrimination suit? Too risky. She job hunted discreetly, resumes highlighting skills over personal life. Inside, bitterness brewed. Why must I hide to succeed? Elena fared worse. Fired under pretense, she sued, the process grueling. Court dates loomed, testimonies dredging up pain. Adriana supported her, but resentment simmered. If we'd stayed hidden, would this happen? Elena sensed it. Regrets. Adriana denied, but doubts festered. Family outreach trickled. Nana called weekly neutral ground. Your mother prays for you. Adriana's response. Tell her to pray for acceptance. Marco sent a card, sorry. Let's talk. Adriana met him at a neutral cafe. I was wrong, he admitted. Seeing you happy. It confuses me. Happy? Adriana thought. Am I? The reconciliation was tentative, bridges rebuilt slowly. Elena's silence broke via letter. I love you but can't condone. Adriana tore it up, tears falling. Why conditional love? Therapy delved deeper. Internalized shame from upbringing. You're grieving the family you thought you had, the therapist said. Adriana nodded, processing. Society's backlash intensified. A local news story twisted their lawsuit, painting them as agitators. Online trolls harassed, doxing threats. Elena wanted to fight back publicly. Adriana hesitated. It'll make it worse. The divide grew. One night, argument erupted. You're still afraid. Elena yelled. And you're reckless. Adriana countered. They slept apart, first time in months. Reconciliation came with apologies, but fragility remained. Adriana's new job at a progressive firm offered hope. Colleagues celebrated her identity. Finally, she thought. But old wounds reopened when Elena called, voice breaking. Nana's dying. She wants you. Adriana rushed to the hospital. Elena by her side despite protests. Nana weak smiled. Be happy, Kara. Elena glared at Elena. She shouldn't be here. Adriana stood firm. She's my wife. The word hung defiant. Elena stormed out, but Marco stayed, awkward support. Nana's passing unified briefly. At the funeral, whispers abounded. Adriana held Elena's hand, ignoring stares. Elena approached post-service. For Nana's sake, truce? Adriana agreed warily. Dinners resumed, tense but civil. Elena attended once, met with coldness. Progress, Elena said sarcastically. Moral dilemmas arose. Adriana's cousin came out, seeking advice. How do I tell them? Adriana shared her story, cautioning costs. But it's worth it. Is it? She wondered privately. The cousin's revelation caused uproar. Elena blaming Adriana's influence. Accusations flew. You corrupted her. Adriana confronted Elena. No, I showed her truth. The fight was brutal, years of resentment unleashed. You raised me to lie. Adriana cried. Elena sobbed. I raised you right. Right for whom? The impasse remained. Elena's lawsuit settled favorably. Vindication sweet but exhausting. They celebrated quietly, toasting resilience. But Adriana's inner voice questioned. At what price? Friends lost, family fractured, self-doubt lingering. A betrayal shattered the fragile peace. Marco, under pressure, sided with Elena in a family dispute over inheritance, citing Adriana's lifestyle as unfit. The hurt was profound. Blood means nothing, Adriana declared, cutting him off again. Isolation deepened. Elena suggested therapy again. Sessions revealed Adriana's depression. I'm tired of fighting. Elena's support wavered under strain. Me too. The admission scared them. Date nights attempted revival, but conversations circled pain. Society offered glimmers. A pride event honored their story, applause healing. Adriana spoke. Love demands sacrifice, but so does hate. Viral attention brought support and hate. Death threats forced caution. As spring bloomed, a choice loomed. Elena received a job offer in California. Fresh start. Adriana hesitated. Leave family remnants? Or stay in toxicity? Debates raged internally. Run or endure? They chose to move, packing amid mixed emotions. Goodbyes were bittersweet. Elena's final words. Don't forget us. Adriana's reply. How could I? In San Francisco, new beginnings beckoned. Liberal air eased burdens. Adriana's career flourished, Elena's too. But past shadows lingered. Calls home grew sparse, guilt persisting. One evening, overlooking the bay, Adriana reflected. We've survived. But at what cost to our souls? The bay's waters shimmered under the setting sun, a deceptive calm mirroring Adriana's turbulent thoughts. San Francisco had promised liberation, and in many ways it delivered. Anonymous streets where they could hold hands without fear. A community that embraced rather than exiled. Yet the move hadn't erased the scars, it merely relocated them. Adriana sat on their balcony, Elena inside preparing dinner, and wondered. Have we truly escaped or just postponed the reckoning? Work thrived in this new environment. Adriana edited queer literature, her passion aligning with purpose. Colleagues shared stories, normalizing what once felt aberrant. But calls from Brooklyn tugged at her. Elena's voice softer now. How are you? Adriana's responses were guarded. Bridges mended but fragile. Marco apologized again, genuinely this time. I was ignorant. Forgiveness came slowly, visits planned tentatively. Elena adapted swiftly, teaching at an inclusive school. This is home, she declared. But Adriana sensed undercurrents, Elena's occasional silences, the way she scrolled through old photos. Do you miss New York? Adriana asked one night. Elena hesitated. Sometimes. But not the pain. The unsaid hung. Not the version of you tied to it. Internal conflicts resurfaced during a visit home. Nana's grave, a pilgrimage. Elena met them at the airport, awkward hugs. Dinner was civil, Elena included. But tensions simmered. Marco joked lightly, but Elena's questions probed. Happy out there? Adriana nodded, but inside, happy? Or just surviving? A family gathering tested limits. Cousins whispered, but the outed one embraced Adriana. Thanks to you. Pride swelled, but Elena's disapproval lingered. See what you've started, she muttered. Adriana retorted. Change. The word sparked debate, voices rising. Elena intervened calmly, earning respect from some. Back in California, reflection deepened. Adriana journaled. The price of authenticity. Family rifts, lost friendships, career hurdles. But gains. Self-acceptance, true love. Worth it. The scales tipped daily. Society's evolution offered hope. Laws progressed, visibility increased. Adriana volunteered, mentoring youth. One teen's story mirrored hers. My parents disowned me. Adriana advised. Time heals, but you heal first. Hypocrite. She thought. Am I healed? Elena proposed formal marriage as anniversaries neared. Make it legal. Planning brought joy, but doubts crept. What if family boycotts? Elena shrugged. Their loss. Invites sent, responses varied. Elena declined politely. Marco attended virtually. The wedding was intimate, ocean backdrop. Vows renewed amid tears. Adriana felt complete, but absent faces haunted. Honeymoon in Hawaii, they discuss future. Kids? Adoption loomed, societal hurdles ahead. We'll face it, Elena said. Post-wedding, normalcy settled. But a crisis reignited old flames. Elena fell ill, hospitalization urgent. Adriana flew back alone, Elena understanding. Bedside, Elena whispered. I'm sorry. For everything. Tears flowed, reconciliation tentative. I love Elena too, Elena admitted weakly. Adriana's heart soared. Acceptance? Recovery brought changes. Elena visited California. Bonds strengthening. Marco followed, family healing piecemeal. But not without relapses. Arguments over values, compromises made. Adriana's growth culminated in a book, her story fictionalized. Publishing brought catharsis, reviews praising raw emotion. Interviews exposed vulnerabilities. The cost was high but silence higher. Years passed, life stabilizing. Adriana and Elena adopted a child. Navigating biases but thriving. Family integrated gradually, Elena babysitting with warmth. Yet questions lingered. In quiet moments Adriana pondered. Did I choose right? The path was fraught with betrayal, damage, awakening. Love endured, but at expense of much. In the end, as they watched their daughter play, Adriana turned to Elena. No regrets. Elena smiled. None. But was the sacrifice of family harmony for personal truth ultimately justified? Or did it perpetuate unnecessary division?